and especially not going to a majority draw. This is a win for Manny Pacquiao. I'm just going to say it.
I don't think that Mario did enough to win. I don't think he did enough for a draw.
If you have world-class judges, why can't they make a decision? Why can't you go one way or the other? You know what I'm saying? A draw seems very weird.
In the aftermath of last weekend's controversial majority draw between Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios, Pacquiao's camp has officially filed an appeal with the WBC, challenging the outcome. Many, including Pacquiao himself, firmly believe he did enough to win. The scorecards reflected a split stance. Two judges called it 114 to 114, while one narrowly favored Barrios at 115 to 113. Despite a 4-year hiatus, Pacquiao's performance was widely praised as remarkable. His team is now pushing for a full review and a potential rematch, calling the decision a disservice that robbed Pacquiao of a historic world title victory.
Manny, the fans came out for you again tonight, but describe what you thought of the judge's decision.
I mean, I thought I won by split decision, like, you know, it's a close fight, but I thought I won.
Didn't look like a 46-year-old tonight. How did you feel inside the ring?
I feel good, like, you know, I feel happy, like 2 months training, like, although short, but it's enough. Like, I mean, I want to train like 3 months or 4 months, but I start late because of the election in the country.
What worked for you tonight, and what was missing late in the fight?
Missing late in the fight, like the last two rounds, like that cramps went probably by me. It's okay.
But the rest of the fight, you look great. What happens now, Manny? Because there was options for you moving forward. There was even talks of a Floyd Mayweather fight. What do you see going on next in you?
Oh, that's another story. Like, let's talk about it. Like, you know, good for me. Like, I'm in shape again.
Do you feel that you have what it takes to be a world champion once again?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I can still do it. For 2 months training, 4 years lay off, and then 2 months training, like, you know.
Unshaken by the draw, Manny Pacquiao stood firm in the post-fight press conference, insisting he won the bout against Mario Barrios. "I thought I won the fight. It was close. My opponent was tough," he said, backing his claim. CompuBox stats revealed Pacquiao landed more power punches, 81 to Barrios' 75, and clearly controlled the middle rounds. Legendary trainer Freddie Roach scored the fight 8 rounds to 4 in Pacquiao's favor. Though disappointed, Pacquiao remains determined. He's already calling for a rematch, vowing to extend his legacy and continue inspiring his countrymen with every round he fights.
I know you enjoyed the fight, but I thought, you know, although the decision is it's not really favor to me, like I'm sad, but I did my best. Being a no fight for 4 years, I'm happy for my performance tonight. So thank you to all your support.
I feel I won. Me and my team feel, you know, that we won, and you know, we're very proud of what I showed, and you know, I'm still just, you know, thankful to be holding my title.
I think although my performance is good tonight, but I'm not satisfied of my combination tonight. I should throw a lot of punches and more aggressive to knock him out. You know, I thought that after the 12 rounds, I won the fight. Like my analysis, like I won 8-4. That's my analysis for the fight. But the thing is, I'm surprised with the announcement. It's draw. So I did my best in the ring. You know, the fans is it's so happy of my performance. But don't worry, Pacman is back, so I'm still here. Most of the fans, they're expecting that, you know, they thought that I won the fight. And although at age of 46, the Pac-Man is still there, he's still giving a good fight to the people, to the fans. That's why I'm so thankful to God, because He gave me the strength and good health.
MP Promotions CEO Sean Gibbons didn't mince words when addressing the majority draw verdict. He denounced it as a glaring example of boxing's darker side. Citing Pacquiao's superior performance and edge in power punches, Gibbons accused the judges of biased scoring influenced by politics or personal agendas. This wasn't just a bad decision, it's a stain on boxing's integrity, he declared. Gibbons demanded an immediate investigation into the scoring and full transparency in how the judges reached their verdicts. His fierce criticism has reignited ongoing conversations around corruption in boxing and the urgent need for judging reform.
Gambling aspect, I don't know. I mean, how does Manny lose cleanly? If you have world-class judges, why can't they make a decision? Why can't you go one way or the other? You know what I'm saying? A draw seems very weird to me, but I'm very proud of him because he spent 7 weeks preparing for this. The guy ran for an election for 3-4 months, did not train at all, did not fight for 4 years. The guy I watched put 7 weeks of training in. It's incredible. And to be robbed of the chance to make history, it's just sick. I hate this sport. I really hate boxing. This is the ugly side of it. This is the side I've done it for 37 years, makes me just want to get out of it. Because it's so sad to me.
What are your thoughts on the rematch that they asked Barrios about?
Fuck Mario Barrios. Who the fuck wants to see him? Manny Pacquiao beat Mario Barrios. Fuck Mario Barrios. Not in a bad way. I like him. But fuck him. Manny Pacquiao beat Mario Barrios. Why should he? What does he need to fight him again for? If Manny wants to continue fighting, there's fighters like Rolly Romero. There's fighters like Javante Davis. There's guys out there. But I would never, I say never, it's not my decision, it's Manny's. But when you do what you did and win a fight like that.
Veteran broadcaster Jim Gray echoed the outrage, stating emphatically that Manny Pacquiao definitely won the fight. He described the draw as a shame for boxing, arguing that the scorecards ignored Pacquiao's clear edge in aggression, clean punching, and ring control. Gray's frustration reflects a broader consensus among analysts who believe the decision failed to honor what unfolded in the ring. For Gray, it wasn't just about one fight, it was about credibility. The verdict, he said, undermines trust in boxing's championship structure and highlights the glaring need for systemic reform in judging.
Jim, did you think Pacquiao won that fight? It was good
Manny Pacquiao won. Yes, I did. I'm not a judge, but it's clear to me and clear to my eyes. And it's a shame. It's a shame for boxing. 2 judges who, can't decide who the winner is. Really? Barrios the champion. I guess you have to beat the champion, and I guess in their eyes they didn't clearly do that. But to me, it was an astounding, amazing, outstanding performance by a 46-year-old man. This is one of the all-time great performances.
Former 2-time welterweight champion Sean Porter didn't hold back. Visibly frustrated after the draw, he called the result a slap in the face to the fans and an insult to the spirit of competition. Porter argued that Barrios never seized control of the fight and showed little consistency with his bodywork, making it hard to justify awarding him rounds. Manny won. Hands down, Porter stated firmly. He went on to criticize the judges' grasp of ring generalship, claiming they misunderstood the rhythm and intelligence behind Pacquiao's approach. His passionate reaction added to the growing chorus calling for accountability in boxing's judging system.
Listen, we've seen Manny on the end of bad decisions before. Timothy Bradley, excuse me. Jeff Horn fight, shout out to Tim. I know how you feel about that. But this is what he's got to deal with. You can't go through a camp, do what you just did right there. We saw all the heart, everything that we've always seen from Manny, and this is the result. Shout out to Mario. He made the fight difficult just from being a big guy who is a better boxer than I realized, came to the ring with a true game plan to try to box and be patient, find openings and things of that nature. I don't think that Mario did enough to win. I don't think he did enough for a draw. I think that there was a lot more that he could have done. But the main thing is the style that he chose to box was actually a good style. should use against Manny Pacquiao. They were saying that they were going to come right to the middle of the ring, and they did, but they came to the middle of the ring, and then they circled, they moved, they worked behind the jab. Not enough jabs, not enough of everything.
Wade Plemons, host of the Wade Concept, framed the result as a moral victory for Manny Pacquiao. At 46, and after a 3-year layoff, Pacquiao exceeded expectations by going toe-to-toe with the reigning world champion. Plemons harshly criticized Barrios for his performance, saying he lacked urgency, failed to control the pace, and appeared hesitant throughout the fight. Barrios fought like the challenger, not the champion, he argued. With back-to-back draws in title fights, Plemons even questioned Barrios' legitimacy as a world champion, calling him possibly the weakest active title holder in the division. The draw, in his view, exposed not just Barrios, but the fragility of today's welterweight landscape.
Oh, we are back on the Wade Concept presented by The Ring Magazine. And folks, I just watched Manny Pacquiao, that's right, 8-division world champion and 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao, off a 3-year layoff Manny Pacquiao, off a loss before the 3-year layoff Manny Pacquiao, go to a majority draw with a world champion in a title fight in 2025. What the just happened? The breakdown. Let's go.
He is the star of Wade Concept.
So like I said, Manny Pacquiao, 2025, fighting for a world championship is not something you expect me to hear. Number one, especially off the 3-year layoff, especially at 147, especially off a loss, and especially not going to a majority draw. This is a win for Manny Pacquiao. I'm just going to say it. Tonight he fought Mario Barrios on PBC, on Amazon Prime Video for the WBC World Championship. Mario Barrios, I like the guy, but it has to be said, when you have 2 of your last title defenses ending in a split draw and a majority draw, you may be the worst title holder in boxing right now. I'm sorry. That's not comparing him to being a shitty boxer. It's just saying that as of right now, he might be the worst world champion in boxing and maybe one of the worst I've seen in a while. Also, kind of unrelated, this kind of looks bad for Tank Davis's record because that was supposed to be a stalwart win on Tank's career when he moved up to 140 and beat Barrios for the belt there. But now it's not looking so good because 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao just went to a majority draw, and you can argue
Pacquiao came out blazing in the early rounds, showcasing his trademark speed, angles, and explosive combinations. He dictated the pace and overwhelmed Barrios with precision and volume. But as the fight wore on, fatigue began to set in. Barrios capitalized, stepping up his output in the later rounds and clawing his way back into contention. Despite Pacquiao's dominant start, Barrios' late-round rally earned him a majority draw. Thanks to one judge scoring it 115 to 113 in his favor, while the other 2 called it even at 114 to 114. The result allowed Barrios to retain his WBC welterweight title.
Up until the later rounds, let's talk about it. So, like I said, Manny Pacquiao off the 3-year layoff, 46, didn't look great against Ugas in his last one. You had to think, okay, well, Barrios beat Ugas kind of decisively. This is going to go one way and one way only. Barrios potentially by stoppage or decision. That's not what happened. Barrios was so tentative in this fight. He was essentially standing there for some of the exchanges. Manny Pacquiao came out and did what Manny Pacquiao does. By the way, credit to Manny. At 46, he still had some feet. He was moving, dancing on Mario Barrios. He was throwing combination punches going forward on Mario Barrios. And when he wasn't doing that, he was countering Mario Barrios, who looked like a stick in the mud. He looked like he couldn't even get out of first gear.
Many analysts agreed that Pacquiao had clearly secured at least 6 rounds, landing clean, fast, and accurate combinations that repeatedly lit up the crowd. Even Barrios himself acknowledged Pacquiao's brilliance, praising the Filipino legend's surprising power and sharpness. What frustrated fans most wasn't just the outcome. It was how narrowly the decision slipped away. Had just one more round been awarded to Manny, he would have walked away with the victory instead of settling for a draw.
Thurman on his ass in the first. Oh my God, it's an experience, and it's another element opponents have to face. And then all of a sudden, Manny just starts cooking. He's just like, and Freddie said it. Like, he has this good 6th round, and Freddie was just like, you get him with a 5-punch combination, I think you can get him out of here. Now, I don't know if he was ever at that point. I can't say that Barrios was ever really in danger, but I think Freddie was right. Like, I just think that if Manny showed the threat, I just think it froze Barrios for all these rounds. And so he had a run of like 4 straight. And at my point, he's up on the scorecards 87-84, which meant all he needed was one more round in my mind. And I was pretty in line with the TV broadcast. I think that we had a little bit of a swing on 8. I think 8 was a little closer, or 9 was a little closer, excuse me. But all he needed was one more round. And mind you, I bet on him, but I was like, Barrios comes out in the 10th. His trainer's like, hey man, you can't respect this guy. And it's tough because Manny pulls these tricks like where he's like trying to delay coming out of the ring because his tape's messed up, or he's like messing with the guy saying, hey, you're hitting me low, and even the ref would be like, Manny, I'll determine if he's hitting low. But he's so charming. You just look at him and you're like, I can't get mad at him. But Barrios comes down that 10th, has some really good body work, and you're like, all right, I think he took that one. So then it's 96-94. Get to the next round, Barrios, he has some that was the closest that you could have probably leaned Pacquiao, in my mind. But Barrios had some flurries. It just looked like he was getting better of it. It kind of looked like Manny was starting to wear down.
Boxing experts were quick to condemn the decision, calling it unjust and disconnected from what actually happened in the ring. They pointed to Pacquiao's statistical edge, 81 power punches landed to Barrios' 75, and his clear dominance in the middle rounds as proof he deserved the win. Yet, the judges scored it a draw, with one even favoring Barrios. Critics argue the scoring was detached from the action, and that the result undermines the credibility of high-stakes championship judging.
Anything significantly great. It makes guys like Manny Pacquiao want to come back to the sport of boxing and fix this garbage. Let me go back to the sport of boxing. That's what we're talking about right now in the welterweight division, the rematch between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. And Manny Pacquiao will beat Floyd Mayweather in the rematch. I said it. I like Floyd, a legendary fighter, but I believe how Manny Pacquiao fought yesterday. And we haven't seen Floyd Mayweather. I know he's still in shape. But this Manny Pacquiao and the footwork that he displayed yesterday, and like he said in the post-fight interview, he threw a little bit more punching, but of course he's 46 years old. But I'm just saying, even at 46 years old, he's better than all these guys. He'll knock out Devin Haney, like worse than Ryan Garcia did.